It's okay.
Homero, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah,
And you?
very good, very good. So, listen, you're the first artist that I'm interviewing, the visual artist, who has gone through the experience of doing the virtual monthly residency. So, I would like you to first of all tell us how you've been dealing with the whole, situation, and how have you adapted to living in these conditions and working in these conditions.
So I think for me, personally, it's like a different experience because I was a person who enjoy talking with people, going outside. I'm like a people person, like an artist. Most of the artists were like very social people. But this change also teach me how to see things in a different way. So also in my arts, I am like more. I have like a different perspective. It opened my perspectives more about life. And in the topic about the art, doing arts online, I think it was a good experience. The first time, it was like more like a live, but in the second time I did like more. I put the recorded the video and make it one. Like yeah, the whole experience in a shorter video.
Exactly. Yeah, and also I think maybe it adds the possibility of chatting while the video is playing. So you can take care of you can communicate with people as it's playing more
Yes.
than if you're doing it in front of the camera and like, you have to do what you do and you do it, very well, but then, you can't communicate the same way with people at the same time. Like the digital world offers like a lot of challenges for us, but also some opportunities that may or may not be successful at offsetting the constraints, but
Mhm.
it's you have to use what you have, it is what it is.
Exactly. And this is the first time, but with the next time with more practice, it could be a lot better. Mhm.
All right, so what have you been working on right now? Like, what are you working on?
I'm working on. I'm doing a series of paintings now, and the topic is the sea. So I'm working on the because I'm thinking about some human figures that I want to paint. And the previous time in the presentation, I did a portrait for a friend of mine. It was like a soft pastel portrait.
And then of course you're a man, you're a young man, but you're a man of many interests. So you do visual arts, you do music, you do scientific experiments, you do all kinds of things, you write. So
Mhm.
what else, like, in other words, like, has the situation changed the kind of things that you're working on right now? That I'm very interested in that.
Yes. So for some reason, when I was able to go outside, I didn't value so much the small space. So now when I am in my room, I see all the corners, and I think that every single small bit of space has a value. I am learning to appreciate space more like the Japanese culture that they have like a place for everything and they are very organized and they value space. So I was doing like the analogy, and I think that this experience taught me how to perceive space in a different way.
Very good, very good. Do you have any plans? Like, so we don't know when things are going to go back to normal, and if they're going to go back to normal, like for how many months or years it's going to take. Like, do you have plans to change the way you've been working, or not?
I think yes. I think I'm going to do some changes for better because I also I'm learning how to organize better my time. So this experience is teaching me how to be like aware of the space and aware of the time, and that way I can improve my discipline. I can improve many things, and it's a challenge because sometimes when you go to a situation like this, your day could lose structure. So it's a challenge for me to give that structure to my day and I'm currently working on that structure. So I have time for painting, I have time for music. And for my special case, is better because, for example, if I have to travel too much, I can't go with my easel and my paintings and my violin and everything. But if I am at home, I can study, for example, physics for 2 hours, then jump to the violin. Then I can probably go and do some math and then jump back to the painting. And if I feel I can go to my the piano or drum set, and I can jump in from one activity to the other without having to travel like long distance.
It's and even like if you go back to the Renaissance, like it's a little bit of a connection. This situation has forced us to kind of go back a little bit to the Renaissance, and that and after that, like but because even travel, they would use like composers would write as they're traveling because travel was so slow, and usually it was not necessarily involved. Like somebody was driving the carriage, and then you're inside the carriage, and or whatever it is, or the train, after in this 18th, 19th century. So it's maybe we're relearning to connect our brains and our activities like the past a little bit. Maybe we're gonna end up being more productive as artists this way.
Yeah, I think so. Also because, like you said, it took like a long time to go from one place to the other. And I think like cars and airplanes change our way to see time, to perceive time. Because a person in Italy, if they want to go to France, it will be like a long, super long trip, weeks. But now we say, oh, I'm going to France. It's like 4 hours or something from Italy or less. So maybe that change of the speed also change our perspective of time. But going back, maybe we can be like more productive.
Very good, very good. You're already very productive. The other thing also that like writing online, uh, it can be a very good environment for writing. Like so, like the digital world, like has developed a new generation of good writers
Hmm.
because you can uh, you don't have to wait to be published to be heard, necessarily. It's hard to be heard above the noise because everybody's writing, but it's maybe better than writing and shopping for a publisher for 10 years before you get published. So
Yes, I think this way of the internet is building a system that's more democratic because virtually everyone can do write and present the work. And if people like the work, they are going, oh, I know that person, he wrote something interesting. And and that's the way to build like a community that reads your publications. So it's like a more democratic way to approach also writing. I will keep the way that I'm learning. I will try to improve this my own structure of my days and everything. But if there are not restrictions, I will go out, but not so often like I used to.
right.
For example, if I have a presentation, I go out and I play. But before I used to hang out like a lot. So I will reduce that a lot.
Yeah, so you're going to change your behavior because until the situation is very safe and stable, obviously.
Yes, and in the future, if things come back to normal, I will. This experience change me for positive, and I am going to try to mix both, keeping more the way I'm doing now.
Yeah, this is exactly how we think as an organization too. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, like the broadcasts and the interviews and all these, and the compilations, the piano anthology. Like we're working on a lot of projects right now because we are trying to strengthen our organization and strengthen our presence in the world, like and to try to have our voice heard, and
Mhm.
this is making us a stronger organization as a result. And so we're going to keep doing that even when things go back to normal. We're just going to add what we already were doing back to the mix. But we have new things that we were not doing before, and I think they're good things. So I hope that
It's like new lessons we have
yes,
from this.
yes, exactly.
And I think Timucua is like a great place for arts and music. I think the impact on Central Florida is huge for artists the people coming to the concerts, and I love it. And as you said, if we can improve, like you said, like with this online presentations and everything, it's going to expand more, and I feel it's going to be great.
Thank you very much. So where could people see your work? What's your website?
My website is could be Facebook with my name,
Yeah.
and also www.HOMERODANIEL.com.
Okay, so homerodaniel.com. Because
Yes,
your full name is Homero Daniel Rodriguez, see?
yes, I have two names. My first name is Homero, and my second name is Daniel.
Daniel. Okay, okay. Very good. Well, thank you very much for talking to me. And I can't wait to see your work and to see you in the future. I'm sure you're going to do great.
Thank you, Benoit. I'm happy to see you too.
Thank
I will see you in the future when this quarantine is over.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Ciao.
Okay, ciao. Take care.